I am grateful, grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God. Come on, Nana. I am grateful, grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for, yeah, all the many ways that the love of God appears. I am grateful, grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that love of God appears. I am grateful, grateful for this day, for love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for, yeah, all the many ways that the love of God appears. Yeah, God appears. The love of God is here.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. I'm Jean Bell. I'm the Associate Minister here. My pronouns are she and her, and I am so glad that you are with us today. Reverend Dr. David Alexander will lead us into a wonderful practice Sunday where we get to actually practice the presence of Spirit in our lives. It'll be relaxing, renewing, and yeah, we're going to take a deep breath. In this world today, we all need a deep breath. Yes? All right. It's so good to see you, Gaga. Reverend David's mother is here. Let's give her a warm welcome. All the way from New Mexico, yes? Yeah, wow, that's a long way. All right. If you're new for the first time, please see a welcome team member out in the hallway for a gift, especially for you. We have practitioners here, and they will be able to give you a treatment if you should need it after service. Or one of the ministers. We are always here for you. All right, I'm going to read through the affirmation, and then I'm going to invite you to say it with me. All right. Today I acknowledge the divine presence of good in my life, recognizing that this transcendent power continually moves through all my thoughts and actions. It sustains, energizes, guides, and inspires me. With an open heart and mind, I welcome my higher purpose to live life with greater abundance, joy, and love, knowing it overflows with infinite possibilities. All right, let's say that together with one voice, yes? All right. Today I acknowledge the divine presence of good in my life, recognizing this transcendent power continually moves through all my thoughts and actions. It sustains, energizes, guides, and inspires me. With an open heart and mind, I welcome my higher purpose to live life with great abundance, joy, and love, knowing it overflows with infinite possibilities. And so it is. Please welcome Jamel Morris with the announcements.
Great afternoon, everyone. I recognize the divine goodness in our lives, in my life, and I give thanks. Again, I am Jamel Morris. I serve on the creative arts team here at SLCA. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We are so happy that you chose to spend your time with us. Please make yourself known in the online chat or in person so a member of our welcome team can greet you. We have so many great opportunities to connect, grow, serve, and give at SLCA. For more information about today's announcements and other opportunities, please scan the QR code found on your monitor. The SLCA board invites you to join them in the social hall for fellowship and to answer any questions you may have today after service. This is a wonderful opportunity to connect with our board as we share what's next for SLCA. Look forward to seeing you there. Have you checked out the gathering yet? Reverend Susan Zoller is thrilled to join with you and other SLCA members as we share the wisdom of Ernest Holmes for 365 Science of Mind daily affirmation readings. This book gives us a whole year of wisdom and spiritual jewels for each day of the year. In the gathering, we get to discuss how this wisdom applies to our daily lives and how it can help us to spiritually grow. Register today and connect with Reverend Susan Zoller on Zoom each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. Adult study is growing, and we want you to join us each Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. This SLCA practitioner-led class explores the Science of Mind magazine and is a wonderful way to connect with our community as you grow in this teaching. Check out our website today and register for the Zoom link. Lastly, next Sunday is a very special potluck as we not only celebrate Reverend David Alexander's time with us, but also his birthday, his personal New Year. I got a surprise for you, brother. I think so. 29? There it is. Bring your favorite dish or even ask Reverend David after service what his favorite dish is. We're going to make this special. Either way, plan to be here for this very important potluck Sunday. This is also a great time to bring a friend. Let's fellowship. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to visiting with you after the service in the social hall for food and fellowship. Please be sure to speak to at least 2 people you have not met or have not spoken to in a while. Remember, you belong.
With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. As I open and allow, I know right here and now, I create a world where wonders never cease. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me.
I'd like for you to join with me in prayer. Taking a deep breath, please. Taking a deep breath. Inhale. Inhaling the breath of life. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. This is what I know. Today is the day that God hath made, and we are rejoicing and so glad in it. God, we give you praise and thanks that when we open our eyes in the morning or in the evening or in the midnight hour, the breath of life is always there. We thank you for that. We thank you that, God, that you provide for us every day. We believe in the power of you in the universe. And we receive it, and we allow it to flow through every cell, every organ, every drop of blood in our bodies. We know that we are all a part of you. We are you. And we give thanks and praise for all of that. I know that the Spirit of God is within me and it flows through me, the life that it gives to me. We give thanks for all that we have. We give thanks for this Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. We give thanks for our Reverend David that spent over 7 years with us and his leadership. And we know that he is blessed beyond blessings as he prepares to move forward with his family in life. We give thanks for everything, every blessing, every joy that he has brought to this congregation. We know that life is good. We believe that. And we know that as we decide to move forward, that life continues to get better and better and better. We give you thanks and praise, God. We know that the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta has wonderful, great promises. We continue to move through life with the energy, enthusiasm, and the joy that we all started with. We give thanks for our board. We give thanks for all the practitioners. We give thanks for all of the members, everyone online and all that show up in the sanctuary. We give thanks for all that are out there praying and knowing that life is good and life is God as we continue to move through life on this plane. We celebrate all that we have, knowing that it's all good, it's all God, as we say together, and so it is.
With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. As I open and allow, I know right here and now, I create a world where wonders never cease. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me.
Thank you for that beautiful prayer, Idella. Thank you, Penelope. Good afternoon. Good to see you all. This is our time of tithes and offerings. It is our time to be in divine right relationship with the law of circulation in our life. And there is a way to do it, including having your pledge card when you walk in the door to recognize that you participate in a monthly cycle of contribution, or weekly, or however you have it set up to flow out of your bank account automatically. And if you want to join us today, there are ways to do it on the screen. Scan the QR code or text any amount to the phone number 404-800-9467, or visit the website. And of course, for those of us in the room, cash and check through the baskets, and our ushers in just a moment are good ways to do that as well. All of that is welcomed and supported as we include our online community as you find your way to giving digitally today. We bless you and thank you for that. It takes all of us to come together to support this community, to be here, to create the space that we have created for 47 years and for many more years to come as we contribute and once again allow ourselves to participate in that cycle of giving and receiving. I receive today, and therefore I gladly share today, because I know that I'm about to receive something for my soul, nourishment for my mind, nourishment for my body, nourishment for the spiritual anchoring of my connection to this world. And so for all of that, I'm truly profoundly grateful and thankful this day. We could not do this without you. So thank you for making your way to your giving. And as we do so, we just bless each of these gifts with these words. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. All right, it's very good. We reach it from wherever we are. We extend our love and our energy and our blessings to this offering, knowing that it now is received into the heart of this ministry to do its good work, and that this ministry is fulfilled and supported and sustained through this love, through this connection, through this intentionality from each individual here, each individual online, each individual participating in the divine flow of their pledging and their automatic giving set up. We receive all of that now. We open our minds and our hearts to receive all of that good from every direction. Receive it into the heart of this ministry, knowing that it fuels and sustains the work that is called here to do. For this and so much more, I'm truly grateful and thankful, and so it is.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place, come on now, at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh my soul is welcome here. Oh my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Yeah. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. You got to throw a 7 in there somewhere.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Good? Yes. Take a deep breath. Praxis Sunday, we give ourselves permission to kind of just dive in deep a little bit. I'll say some things to kind of set the tone, and my intention today is a kind of a long guided meditation, but we'll talk about the setup for that for just a bit. I didn't get the clicker. Do I have slides? Did we get slides in there? Okay. So one of the reasons we do Praxis Sunday is to create a resonant field. It is important to each of us be a part of our own spiritual practice and our own prayer and meditation, but it's also important to do it, what they would say, corporately, right? As a body of people, to pray together, to resonate together, to meditate together, to create a field. There's this wonderful quote that says, when a complex system is far from equilibrium, small islands of coherence in a sea of chaos have the capacity to shift the entire system to a higher order. That's exactly where we are. We are a complex system, humanity, that is far, somebody say far. We are far from equilibrium right now. We are just way off. Mother Earth is pissed, right? She is angry. Humanity is stressed and at each other. Like, we are just far off on all the ways that we can measure that. And yet, small islands of coherence. That's what we create when we decide to do work together, decide to pray together, decide to meditate together, decide to create a resonant field of agreement together about our intention. Create a small island wherever two or more are gathered together. That's a small island of coherence. So don't pay any attention to how many people come or don't come, how many people are online or not online. You are participating in an island of coherence, and that is essential to the survival of humanity. Essential. So this small island of coherence in the sea of chaos that we are in has the capacity. Thank you. Thank you, CJ. Give CJ some love. He's so good. Has the capacity to shift the entire system into a higher order. And so we are an island. All the other centers in the greater Atlanta area, whether they're New Thought or Unity or other traditions, wherever two or more gather together, all the other centers around the world, places that are meditating and contemplating peace or nonviolence or spiritual practice in some way. There's so many different ways to approach this universal truth. And so we bless and give thanks for all of them and know that we resonate with each of them. So as we do that work today, and as we begin, I want to give gratitude for the prophetic and powerful work of Assata Shakur, and bless her into the ancestral realm. If you don't know, she made her transition. If you don't know who she is, look her up. She's the aunt of Tupac. Hopefully that'll create context for people, but if not, definitely look her up. She was a voracious warrior for justice and for race relations in America. She sought political asylum in Cuba after being part of the Black Panther movement here in the 60s and 70s, and involved in many confrontations with police, with cities, with leaders, and she continued to be a powerful bellwether of, I think, exactly where we are right now, which is the danger of the manipulation of empire, the manipulation of use of force by the state, and by the state I mean the nation, right, on its own citizens. We have an administration that is sending federalized National Guards to places like Chicago and Memphis and Portland, supposedly, although I was just there and didn't really see much of a reason to send them, but maybe like the National Mall, they could pick up some trash and do some cleanup. But it was actually, the city was looking pretty clean too. So, and I make light of that, but it's a dangerous place that we're in, right? And Assata lived at the intersection of that dangerous place and was willing to put her body on the line and put her life on the line for that message. And so her life is a witness not just to history, but a prophetic warning that reminds us again that state violence can be real, can be dangerous, that governments, when they are out of equilibrium, seek to crush justice movements, and that fear is always used as a weapon in that, and that's exactly where we are. And so it is important today that we call her name, that we lift her up into the ancestral realm, that we remember her words. She said, "It is our duty to fight for freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains." Mm-hmm. The work of liberation is first grounded in losing the chains that are on ourselves, the chains of limitation, the chains of the ways in which we have internalized the message of oppression, be it systemic or individual, and for those who think that that's like sort of way left field of where New Thought is. And let me tell you, before Portland, I was in Oakland last weekend celebrating Center out there in their 80th Center's birthday or church anniversary. Started in 1945. And we had a meeting of the justice ministries of each of the local Bay Area churches, of which there's 4 or 5 of them all coming together and talking about coherence and a resonant field and a common vision for justice work in the Bay Area as they all cooperate together, even though they come from different ministries. And it was a very powerful meeting, and of probably 80 people or so at that meeting. For them, that work is central and inseparable from the work of spiritual awakening and what we call science of mind, religious science, New Thought teaching, right? It's inseparable. It's like taking the wet out of water, okay? Because liberation is liberation. Whether you apply it to the individual or you apply it to the collective, they both feed each other, they both are connected to each other, and you need each one of them in order to do the other, right? And so New Thought has been practiced in the language of liberation of the individual from fear and doubt and worry and not enoughness and small-mindedness and poverty thinking and lack of limitation and all of the stuff. Those are all chains. Some of them are put there by the system. Some of them are put there by patterns of humanity. Some of them are put there by structures of society. Some of them are put there by our upbringing or our what we would call our conditioning, what our parents taught us, what school taught us, what society taught us. Some of them are put there by ourselves, by what we accepted about ourself or our identity or our possibility or our whatever. Doesn't matter how they got there. They're all chains. And our soul wants to be liberated from all of that. And so we seek out curriculum, teaching, prayer, meditation, spiritual practice that would allow us to do that liberating work. Everybody clear on that? Yeah. So I think it's important because I want and I pray that we as a community continue to come together to remember the intersection of those things because of where we're at right now. We have such potency of what we offer the world. Not just individuals and like, I want my life to be better, I want a good relationship and a great job, and I want to find the parking place when I go. You know, that's a big deal in Atlanta, find the parking place, I get it. You know, I want the traffic to be easy, you know, I get it. Yes, and, right? A world that works for all. One of the things I shared with the Justice Ministry was, you know, we don't have to pretend like this is hard. I think that's one of the misnomers or myths that we accept about this work is that somehow it's hard to figure out what to do. We as an organization, as a local church, and as our denomination, a greater organization that we participate in, Centers for Spiritual Living, hold a vision called a world that works for all, a world that works for everyone. Actually, it was with Sharif Abdullah, who's the author of the book, A World That Works for All, in Portland this last week. And he and I got to sit down and talk about that and his influence on my ministry, and I got to thank him, and we reconnecting and planning some big things. But a world that works for everyone is not abstract. A world that works for everyone is not an abstract idea. That's not I just want peace and love and harmony in the world to just be better and the birds to sing. And yeah, that's lovely and that's great. If that's where your vision is, that's wonderful. As an organization and as a movement, as a body of churches in the world, and including our Unity sister New Thought organization, hold together this vision of a world that works for everyone. That is a very specific thing. Why? Because you can tell when it doesn't. It shows itself, right? It's like either it's working or it's not working, right? Like either there's a harmony, there's a flow, there's a generosity, there's possibility and opportunity for people, or there's not. And we can see the places where there's not, and therefore there's work to do. So to me that, reminded the Oakland group, said that's a lot like Howard Thurman's idea where he says, you cannot love humanity. He says you cannot love humanity because love is specific. You have to put skin on it. You can love David, you can love Karen, you can love Sue, you can love Bob, you can love, right? You can love people, but you can't love humanity. You gotta make it personal because love is a personal thing. Right? It's the same thing. World that works for everyone. You can affirm that, but then the manifestation of it is very, very specific. So with that, I thought in honor of Asada, and which, by the way, just want to say one more thing. Years ago, I had a wonderful friend, colleague in ministry, later became a mentor and teacher of mine, and she said, as I was new in kind of my justice voice in ministry, and she said, get the autobiography of Assata Shakur, read it, and assume that everything that she says, and so I'm saying this for those of you who might not know who she is or much about her, this is a wonderful spiritual practice that I have done. Get her autobiography, read it, and assume that everything she says is true. Now you might wonder why I'm saying that, but if you look into her, you'll understand why. Because it's very easy, especially for a white-identified and sort of Americanized mindset, to dismiss or think that there's something amiss about her story. Or she must be lying, or she must be this, or she must be da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right? She's a controversial character. But put all that aside, all the conditioning that would come up, and then just assume that everything is true. And then sit with how that reorients your awareness about the world that we're living in. I did that years ago when somebody told me to do that, and it was life-changing, and I'm here today because of it. All right, so I thought in honor of her, we would do this kind of a litany, call and response, if you will, as the beginning of our practice, and then I want us to do some meditation to kind of tie all this together. So if you're willing, take a deep breath. And I'll just do a line, and you say it after me, and we'll just allow that to be kind of our way in this affirmation and these series of affirmations as a litany, call and response, veneration of Assata Shakur, welcoming her into the ancestral realm and asking the wisdom, the insight, and the guidance of her conscious intelligence that is now part of the collective conscious intelligence to continue to guide humanity. Allow us to see what needs to be done. Allow us to have the courage. Allow us to have the tenacity. Allow us to have the strength, the insight to go where we need to go so that humanity, that we can, in your words, love each other, support each other. We are called to unity. We are called to justice. We are called for such a time as this. With faith we unite. With hope we persist. With love we journey towards justice. We are called to unity. We are called to justice. We are called for such a time as this. With faith we unite. With hope we persist. With love we journey towards justice. One more time. We are called to unity. We are called to justice. We are called for such a time as this. With faith we unite. With hope we persist. With love we journey towards justice. Thank you, Assata Shakur, for your wisdom, your insights, your tenacity, your courage, your prophetic voice, your willingness to go into the difficult places so that others might see. Indeed, we must heed the warning to love each other, to support each other, to journey towards justice. And we thank you and we honor you today. Thank you for that. And so I want us to, this meditation idea came to me after sitting with my friend Sharif. If you've read my book, in the beginning I talk about how impactful his book, Creating a World That Works for All, was both in my consciousness and in my ministry and over the years. He was the speaker for Centers for Spiritual Living's conference back in 2024 2004. So over 20 years ago, right at the beginning of my ministry. And when I was in Oakland, I met some ministers, or reunited with some ministers of some of the local clergy there in Oakland, and I had shared this story about his impact on my work. And they said, that we were the ones who invited him to be the keynote speaker. And they said, and we had to fight to get him there. It was a fight. And so we had this conversation about, well, what's happened since then, and kind of the work that he has, and the opportunity for churches to do that work, and how that some of that didn't take off, that wasn't well received, and they said, so it was kind of disappointing. We had to fight so hard to get him in the door and get him at that conference, and to see it kind of land, at least beyond the impact of that conference, land on deaf ears. And I said, well, I get to raise my hand and say, over here it fell on good soil. Over here it fell on good soil. And then I got to tell him that story when I met with him in Portland. And so we're continuing to work together. But one of the things we talked about was, we are at such a place where the divide is, the noise level of that is at such a chaotic state that it's a very dangerous for our democracy. I mean, I think we know. I don't think I need to go into all that. We know we're in this kind of tender, vulnerable space. What do we do about that? And there are two sort of paths. James O'Day, the wonderful mystic, James O'Day, has got a wonderful book called The Conscious Activist. And he talks about the path of the mystic and the path of the activist. James O'Day, conscious mystic, I think that's what it's called. Path of the activist, path of the mystic. And he says the path of the activist, you got to raise your voice, you got to speak up, you got to show up, you got to, go to the marches and do the things, and all of this, whatever the activism is, for whatever the issue is, whether it's animal rights or the earth or racial justice or economic policy or anything else that you care about, whatever it is, right? And the path of the mystic is to awaken the heart and to dive deep into the realm of spiritual connection, and to heal your own internal suffering and your own internal separation, and move from that place to where you are only seeing everything is coming out of that unified field consciousness of that there's only one of us here, there's only one thing happening here. But it takes work, and it takes a lot of years to cultivate the depths of all of our humanity and spiritual practice to find that place to operate from, and to practice and to live from there, right? So that's the path of the mystic. But what we're called to do is to bring those two things together. They're not separate things. The path of the activist requires the path of the mystic, and the path of the mystic requires the path of the activist. And even more importantly, the path that humanity is on right now requires both. We cannot just sit in prayer and meditation while our brothers and sisters are hurting, while our trans siblings are being attacked, while our brothers and sisters are being swept up by ICE, but all the stuff that's happening, right? To have our response to that be, it's like a little help here, right? But at the same time, we cannot just get all worked up in all of that and passionately lathered up about it, and not be grounded in a deep sense that there's only one thing happening here. Humanity is trying to shake itself awake, and I'm not coming from an antagonism of the other, or a hatred, as we just recently had a political leader at a memorial service, supposedly. I don't know, I've never seen a memorial service with pyrotechnics. But supposedly at a memorial service, say that he hates his enemies. He hates his enemies. and he wishes them ill. And he's in charge of the most powerful army in the world and is mobilizing aspects of it to cities in the nation that he rules. So it'd be very easy to have a response to that that says, well, I don't like you either. You know, I don't like that person. So what does the mystic do with that? It's easy to understand what the activist does with that, right? What does the mystic do with that? The mystic must take it into prayer and come to the awareness and understanding that there is no separation and that we must heal the divide. Let me put it this way. I was going to save this for next week, but, and then I promise we'll meditate. He said, you weren't going to talk. This is what happens when you don't have a whole lot of notes. There's a story in the scripture of Jesus and a woman who comes to him for healing. Her son is sick. And I still might talk about this next week in more detail because wasn't planning on talking about this. But I just want to be brief to kind of make the point. But her son is sick, and so she's heard that this healer is in town. And he has the power and the ability and the capacity to heal her son. And so what would you do if you were that mother? She goes to see him. Now, the context of the situation is that she is from a different tribe, a different group of people, a different nationality, a different everything socially. Different gender, different economics, just everything that you could imagine. And the group that he's from and where he's hanging out, they don't get along. They don't talk to each other. They don't like each other. They're not on the same page. And it's not appropriate for them to interact with each other. But she says, he has the capacity to heal my son. So she goes to see him. And he's already been doing his thing and speaking and teaching and healing and whatever, and he's resting. And she interrupts him. And she says, I've come to see you. And I need to talk to you about my sick son. And he says, we don't let the bread from this table fall on the floor to dogs. Jesus calls her a dog and says, you are not worthy of the bread that I eat. Jesus, the healer, is trapped in his own tribal thinking, in his own tribal identity, his us and themness, which we all have, right? Democrat, Republican, right, wrong, whatever it is. But she is that, and he is this, and never the twain shall meet. And so he says, I don't know who you are, but it's not the people that I've been called to serve. And she says, even the dogs get the crumbs that fall off the master's table. Even the dogs can get the crumbs that fall from the master's table. And his response, after calling her a dog, right? He says, with your faith, your son shall be healed. Go home. Your son is healed. And so what's important, there's so many things about that, which is why I was going to unpack it next Sunday, but we'll see if I bring it back. But there's so many different layers there, right? The one I want to talk about today as a lead into this meditation is that we might have to start learning how to bridge the gap between those that we have labeled wrong or unworthy of our love and attention, our healing power, our consciousness, and whoever we've identified as that person on the other side. Because it is not Jesus' consciousness that does the healing. It's hers. It's her capacity to say, I am one with you, even though you don't like me, even though you don't see me, even though you don't welcome me, even though you don't think I deserve to be at the table. It's her consciousness. She comes from that place. Why? Because her son is sick, and she would do anything, as any of us would, right? I've heard that you, even though you don't like me, don't see me, don't welcome me, don't whatever me, but you have the capacity. I have heard that you have the capacity to heal my son, so I have come here, right? And so we might have to start getting over ourselves, and it's going to be hard because there are still things to passionately fight for and speak for, and as on the activist side, there are still things to show up in the street for. There's still things to write our elected officials for. There's still things to do in the activist realm, to speak up and use our voice. And there is the mystical realm of coming from that deep place that says there's only one of us here. And all those that would wish me harm also come from the consciousness of the one. And if I can't see myself one with them, then I can't really bring forward the thing that the activist is trying to heal in society. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes? All right. Take a deep breath. I want us to not just have it intellectually make sense, but I want us to begin the praxis, the spiritual practice part. Because I believe that this is our curriculum. This is really where it's at. To do this work on a daily basis, to do this work individually and corporately. And so as you take just a few deep breaths, feel yourself enter a state of calm and receptivity. Let out a gentle sigh on the next exhale. Just feel your whole body relax into the awareness of this now moment, which is the only moment that there is. This single point of awareness that God is all that there is. As individuals and even collectively, we come together in this time, in this afternoon, knowing full well all of the ways in which humanity is at each other's throat, globally and locally. All of the ways in which Mother Earth is hurting or suffering or calling for attention. All of the cries of humanity, large and small. And the turbulence of transition in our own lives and in the world. We're not here to pretend anything other than that which is so on the surface. We see it. And we're called to know so much more. And so I want you to imagine now, if you can, that you're in a great hall. It's well lit and comfortable. There's a path in front of you that is spiraling down in a very gentle slope. Looks like maybe an art museum. The walls are clear. It's well lit. The room is comfortable. And you begin walking on this path. And as you do, you notice on either side of the wall, on both sides simultaneously, images of humanity begin to appear. And you hear laughter and crowd noise and jeering of types. And you continue to walk gently, a very comfortable pace, very steady. And you're going lower and lower and lower as it just sort of circles around, spiraling downward. And as you pay attention to the images, you notice that the two sides are sort of interacting with each other. And it represents a kind of polarization in humanity. And the polarization is everything from sports, fans on one side versus fans on the other side, college teams or rival high schools or professional sports. And the fans are rabid and passionate, their faces painted and committed to their perspective. And so is the other side. And as you move down further in this great hall, you see other forms of division or polarization. Different ways that humanity has divided itself up. Men and women, old and young, right-handed and left-handed. Different forms of identity, perhaps different age groups, boomers and millennials and Gen X. Dog people and cat people, and anti-cat people and anti-dog people. Nature lovers and city dwellers. Those who love automobiles and those who can't stand modern technology. And as you travel even further down, you notice that the differences are beginning to become perhaps a little bit more serious. Sports teams have turned into nations. Surface issues have been replaced by gender expression and identity. Poverty and economic issues, race relations. Political identity, left and right. Not only locally, but globally. And the noise has gone from playful jeering to screeching anger. The hallway itself has gotten wider and wider as you continue to walk down the middle. You feel a kind of ache inside of your chest. You can feel the brokenness. And as you begin to approach what looks like the bottom, the walls go blank for just a moment. And there's a bench somewhere nearby. You find yourself drawn to just sit on that bench and be with the ache that is inside of your chest. And then the wall directly in front of you begins to illuminate again. This time, reflecting to you the very first thought or experience that you had of yourself as separate from the divine. That initial break from unified consciousness. Maybe even the first breath you took as a child. Or it may be some other incident or moment that stands out to you. And you notice that, well, there's nothing to heal. You notice that everything else that was on the wall sort of somehow stems from this initial break, this thinking of ourselves as separate, not just from each other, but from God or love or the intelligence of the universe, whatever you want to call it. And your heart begins to soften. Because you can see now that it was just a thought. It was just an idea. It was just a moment of forgetting or accepting someone else's imposed reality or image or box that they wanted to put you in. You see now that at your feet there's a warm pool of water. It's glowing and inviting. And in some way you decide to offer yourself to it, either taking off your shoes or bending down and cupping your hand, or just allowing yourself to engage with it. It's just the right temperature. And as it laps at your feet or moves through your hands, you feel all of the separation, all of the otherness, all of the division, all of the brokenness heal instantly. Everything comes back together, your unified consciousness with the divine intelligence. You lack for nothing. You feel yourself one with wholeness, one with love and joy and prosperity and every heart's desire you've ever had. You're not separate from anything that you've ever wanted or needed or desired, because it's all right here in this moment, in this breath, in this body, connected through this water. Perhaps you drink a little bit more, or wash your face or your hands. You even find on the edge of the pool there's a small container. It's been placed there just for you. You can take it, scoop some of the water up in it, and begin your journey back up the path. Back up the center aisle of this great hall. And as you carry the jar with you, all of the images and sounds of separation begin to soften. A warm light is radiating out from the center of your being. And all of the shadows and images begin to soften in that light. You see now. While the images don't disappear completely, you see that the consciousness that you carry begins to heal this division in humanity, this love and connection that you carry with you is a healing balm to a divided world. And as you reach the top, you see that your belongings are there, whatever you walked in the door with. The doors to the great hall await you, and the world is calling. And you take with you an awareness that there is still work to do, there's still advocacy and places to show up, to stand up, to use your voice or your presence or your passion. But it's not as hopeless as you once thought. The journey is a little bit easier now because you can see the delicate dance between the awareness of your connection with the divine and the work that must be done to continue to heal. And so with a grateful heart, when you're ready, you come back to your body in this room, and you know that you can return to this great hall at any time to get reunited with that warm presence, to take as much as you need with you back out into the world. And so breathe deeply. Give your toes and your fingers a stretch. Roll your shoulders back. Release the breath. And so it is.
So it is.
And so that's what came to me to offer you today, that this is the walk that we are on. It's a delicate walk, but it's a necessary walk. This spiritual community is a place where we get to enter that hall. We get to, with every prayer, with every song, with every connection from our practitioners and the leaders here to get reconnected with that essence, and then to carry it back out into the world to do for each one of us exactly what is ours to do, no matter how different it is from what somebody else's work is to do. And so I pray that you continue to invite, and I pray that you continue to support. I pray that you continue to honor the space that this is, because it is so, so needed in the world. I've shared this on many Praxis Sunday. Audre Lorde, without community, there is no liberation. Without community, there is no liberation. We are in this together. We are in this together. So thank you for being here today. Let me invite the practitioners to come forward, and we will do just a bit more affirmative prayer. Practitioners who are available in this space, including online. Thank you, practitioners who are affiliated with us in multiple places, Kansas City, I know, and other places as well. If you need prayer support, the practitioners are available to you after the service and by appointment via our website. Make yourself known to them, and they will be glad to spend a few moments with you, to lift you up, to hold something for you, to know something with you, to affirm something with you, or to celebrate with you. It doesn't have to be anything heavy that you're walking through. It can be something that you want to affirm and acknowledge and celebrate and continue the pathway of good graces and blessings happening in your life. Take an opportunity to be supported in that way as well. And so with this, we affirm with our practitioner body and our collective healing ministry that there is one life, one power, one breath of God forever seeking to know itself in, through, and as you, and as me, and as all life, and as all creation. This one is the only thing that there is. It's the ultimate reality of all creation. I am one with this divine presence. There's nothing else that I can be, because I have come from the one, exist in the one, and express as the one. And so do you, and so do we. All unique, individualized points of expression in the great tapestry of the one. And so out of this awareness, I speak this word, knowing that there is healing in this place. There is prosperity in this place. There is transformation in this place. There is grace in this place. There's so much love and joy and deeper connection in this place for each and every individual. I know that every individual that has contacted our prayer ministry is receiving now exactly what they have reached out to receive. I know that our hearts extend to those who are hurting or journeying with the loss of a loved one. I surround our beloved MC and their father. I surround any individual who has lost a pet or a family member, or is journeying through a life transition of any kind. I lift them all in prayer and love, and a great sense of love, knowing that that power heals, carries, and transforms. I embrace all those who are opening themselves now to greater possibilities in their life, that are seeking new relationships and new jobs or careers, or simply divine direction or guidance in their life. I know that their names are spoken into this place now, and the divine wisdom that is the presence of God speaks directly and clearly exactly what it needs to each of those individuals. There is divine guidance in this place. There is clarity and wisdom in this place. There is deeper understanding in this place. And for all the prayers unspoken, for all those known and unknown, in this moment I give thanks. I know that the wisdom of Spirit knows all, even before it is spoken. and the divine right action in perfect order is taking place. For the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta, for its board of trustees, for its financial position, for its work in the world, for its call and divine destiny, and for every seat that is called to be filled by a being who is so eager and ready to receive this message and this place and this community. I know that it is done. It is good and very good as I simply release this word, allowing it to be the law of my life, the activity of my experience. For this and more, I say thank you, God.
Thank you,
and
God.
so it is.
So it is. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. We see a world that works for everyone. We see a world that works for everyone. 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 Yeah. See you downstairs, everybody.